Former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, once a senior member of the British royal family, has come under renewed scrutiny from American lawmakers in connection with their ongoing investigation into the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein, the infamous financier and convicted sex offender. A group of Democratic members of a U.S. congressional committee has formally invited Andrew to provide testimony as part of their effort to uncover the full scope of Epstein's criminal activities and the individuals who may have been involved. While the committee cannot legally compel him to appear, as he is neither a United States citizen nor residing within U.S. jurisdiction, they have publicly urged him to cooperate voluntarily. Andrew, however, continues to strongly refute all allegations linking him to Epstein's crimes. BBC's North America correspondent, Peter Bose, reported that the committee sent a letter directly to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, emphasizing their belief that he possesses significant and potentially crucial information regarding Epstein's behavior and his circle of associates. The U.S. lawmakers expressed that due to Andrew's long-standing association with Epstein, his perspective could help shed light on key aspects of the case, including the network of powerful figures who interacted with Epstein socially and professionally. They have requested that he willingly provide an account of what he knows, preferably through formal testimony, asserting that hearing directly from him is vital to their fact-finding mission. The committee members clarified that while they lack the authority to force Andrew to appear before them, his cooperation would demonstrate transparency and accountability, values that they believe are essential in any credible investigation of such serious offenses. At the center of their interest is an allegation made years ago by Virginia Giuffre, previously known as Virginia Roberts, one of Epstein's most prominent accusers. Giuffre has claimed that she was trafficked by Epstein and forced into sexual encounters with Andrew when she was underage. The former prince has vehemently denied this claim, calling it entirely false and baseless. Still, the committee says that even beyond the specific accusations, Andrew could play an important role in helping investigators understand Epstein's broader social environment. It is well documented that the two men were acquaintances for years, appearing together at public and private events and maintaining contact long after Epstein's first conviction in 2008. According to committee members, understanding the extent and nature of that friendship may help illuminate how Epstein continued operating his network and maintaining access to high-profile individuals even after his criminal record became public. Several members of Congress have argued that if Andrew truly wants to clear his name, the most convincing way to do so would be through a transparent cooperation process. Appearing voluntarily would show a willingness to face scrutiny and reveal truthfully what he knows, rather than allowing speculation and suspicion to persist. One Democratic representative involved in the inquiry stated that their primary objective is to get to the bottom of the truth and to ensure that any statement given is under oath so that it carries legal weight. The lawmaker added that the committee's goal is not to target Andrew personally, but rather to establish the facts in a rigorous and truthful manner, and that cooperation from all individuals with relevant information is critical for that. Meanwhile, Gloria Allred, a California-based civil rights attorney who has represented several of Epstein's victims, has publicly echoed the committee's sentiments. She insisted that Andrew should take this opportunity to step forward voluntarily. According to her, many survivors of Epstein's abuse continue to come forward, share their stories, and seek accountability from everyone connected to Epstein. In her view, Andrew's participation would represent a meaningful gesture toward transparency and justice. She commented that numerous victims are watching closely to see how he responds, especially with various court documents and files expected to be unsealed in the coming months. These documents could reveal new details about Epstein's network and potentially mention Andrew directly, depending on what evidence has been gathered over the years. Allred emphasized that as long as Andrew remains silent, suspicion and speculation will continue to cloud his reputation. She suggested that it would be far better for him to address the issue head-on, publicly tell his side of the story, and provide whatever information he can before more damaging revelations emerge. Otherwise, she warned, a black cloud will continue to hang over his public image indefinitely, one that might have been mitigated if he had cooperated openly. At the same time, questions about Andrew's situation reached the highest levels of political and royal discussion in the United Kingdom. When Prime Minister Rishi Sunak was asked for his perspective during an event attended by Prince William in Brazil, where the heir to the throne was representing the UK at the COP30 Environmental Summit, Sunak responded diplomatically. He noted that as a general principle, anyone possessing information relevant to serious investigations should be willing to share it with the appropriate authorities. However, he added that ultimately it would be Andrew's personal decision whether to testify, acknowledging that the government had no direct role in influencing that choice. The Congressional Committee's letter also referenced a piece of correspondence from 2011 that was made public not long ago. In that email exchange, Andrew reportedly wrote to Epstein, "We are in this together." The committee cited this as part of the reason for their heightened interest, suggesting that the message could imply a closer connection or shared understanding than Andrew has previously acknowledged. While that phrase alone may not prove complicity, it underscores why lawmakers believe questioning Andrew directly could clarify lingering uncertainties about his involvement or knowledge. Their request for testimony arrives at a time of continued public pressure in the United States for more transparency regarding Epstein's activities and the full disclosure of files held by the U.S. government. Many victims and their advocates have argued that a complete release of all information could help reveal hidden patterns of abuse and identify powerful figures who escaped accountability for decades. They assert that without thorough cooperation from every individual connected to Epstein, justice for the survivors will remain incomplete. For years, Epstein's criminal enterprises thrived in secrecy, fueled by his relationships with numerous influential individuals from politics, business, academia, and royalty. Even after his death in 2019, officially ruled a suicide in a New York jail, his network and the unresolved questions surrounding it continue to haunt both the victims and the public imagination. Investigations have since expanded beyond Epstein himself, turning attention toward those who are close to him, such as Ghislaine Maxwell, who has since been convicted of participating in his trafficking operations. Andrew's situation, therefore, represents a particularly high-profile dimension of the broader inquiry. His royal background and past association with Epstein have made him a symbolic figure in discussions about privilege, accountability, and moral responsibility. The Congressional Committee's letter underscores that in matters of sexual exploitation and abuse, status or nationality should not grant exemptions from scrutiny. The lawmakers insist that any person who might hold information, no matter how politically or socially prominent, should be questioned and encouraged to contribute to the truth-finding effort. As Peter Bose reported, the call for Andrew's cooperation marks one more step in an international pursuit of justice for Epstein's victims. The implications of his response, or lack thereof, could extend beyond the investigation itself, shaping public opinion about whether the powerful are truly held to account. While Andrew continues to deny every allegation and maintains his innocence, the ongoing revelation of new documents and testimonies ensures that public attention on his link to Epstein will persist for the foreseeable future. In summary, U.S. lawmakers believe that the former prince could play a central role in clarifying the facts surrounding one of the most notorious criminal networks of recent history. Their appeal for him to testify under oath is both a quest for justice and a test of integrity, for the victims seeking closure, for the institutions under scrutiny, and for Andrew himself. As calls for transparency grow louder, how he chooses to respond may define not only his legacy but also a significant chapter in the ongoing reckoning with Epstein's crimes. This is UK Royal Report signing off.